And we back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen this video, but that's all right. We all live and we learn. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Introducing my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, like the video, share it, subscribe, tell a friend, and may your friend tell a friend.
Yeah, shout out to the replay gang. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all be coming through in the comments. I'll be cracking up at y'all because y'all said we cut up in my family Empire Houston, and we did. So this video ain't gonna be no different because we about to cut up in this video as well. All this foolishness that they gave us this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the scene opens up where they're still on this golf trip that Talene and her husband set up. They're at the Jebel Ali, which me and Mrs. Best will be staying at once we go to Dubai because I think it looks beautiful. Hey Jim Bunny, thank you for being here, love. We appreciate you. So everybody is meeting up for breakfast separately. So we have Chanel Ayan and Lisa Milan and Rich and Chris meeting in Chanel Ayan and Chris's suite. We had Saba, Sarah, and Brooks meeting Brooks's suite. And then we had Caroline Stansberry, Sergio, Rafi, and Talene meet outside to have breakfast. So we're following three different stories about the same thing. So what they're talking about is Lisa Milan going off on Talene and how, she didn't understand they didn't understand where this is coming from. And Talene's side is that she hates that Stansberry didn't have her back when it came to the whole argument. Stansberry said, look, I'm not in that. I feel like you were stupid for jumping in that and you shouldn't even have got involved. And I said, thank you, Stansberry. But that's all we saying. So I'm not even going to get into Brooks and Saba and Sarah because Saba pissed me off in that little scene. So I'm just going to let that be what it is. But they were pretty much saying the same thing. And that how Lisa is always talking about someone's jealous of her or something, and it's ridiculous. And I said, Saba, shut up. This is why you got on my bad side again. You was doing fine. Now here you go. And then we put the main focus back on Lisa Milan, Chanel Ayan, and their husbands. And Lisa was like, I don't know where Talene was coming from. And she was telling Rich. And Rich was like, one thing about Ayan, you know how much she loves you because she has your back. And Ayan was like, yep, absolutely. And Lisa said, yeah, she definitely has my back. Oh, how short-lived this scene was. But, they're kind of going off to say, Lisa was like, okay, so what does Talene have planned for us today? And Chanel Ayan was like, well, apparently we're going to be at the pool with a whole bunch of bitches. And I was hollering. I said, oh, no. She said, she said, beaches for the bitches or something like that. I was hollering. I said, not that. But, you know what? I'm not going to say this, but I'm going to say this. But moving on, we then go to the scene at the pool. Everyone meets up with each other. The ladies have one little cabana. The men have another one. And as everyone's getting there, getting acquainted, getting some drinks, Talene pretty much says, Lisa, I want to have a conversation with you. Stansberry immediately got up and ran right over to the men. She said, I am not in this. I am not doing this. Y'all can have this. So the conversation then turns to Talene giving some kind of backward apology, being condescending, and it was stupid. So I'll let you know what she said. She goes, I don't know what happened. Like I apologize for inserting myself when it came down to you and Brooks. I felt like I was out of line for saying that. I just wanted to have Brooks's back. But at the same time, when we had dinner, I don't think it was called for you to call me out my name and call me a bitch. And Lisa was like, here's my thing with you, Talene. You shouldn't even have inserted yourself from the beginning. This was between me and Brooks. Why did you feel the need to pipe up and, say that? And I called you out your name. I do apologize about that. But at the same time, it was the energy that you were giving. And Talene was like, well, is this really an apology? Like, what is this? And I said, oh, there you go, being condescending. See, I think Lisa was working her way up, but she had to tell Talene where she was coming from and how she felt as well, the same way Talene did. So it was crazy for Talene just to be condescending and was trying to speed up the process for Lisa. So Lisa was like, okay, well, you know what? You ain't getting no apology because I'm not sorry right now. So it is what it is. So Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that exchange between Talene and Lisa?
Um, I know a lot of people are writing for Talene, but for me, it goes back to the principle: mind your own business, mind your business. It don't have nothing to do with you. And we've seen Talene do this throughout the season in her interactions with others. Allow Brooks to come and speak up about what's bothering her, because one thing about Brooks is she will let them know when she is bothered and what is bothering her, whether it's messy or something. So Talene, you don't need to facilitate and let people know like, oh, she's bothered. It's kind of half-assing defending your friend, which is probably why they're not friends today. If you're going to defend your friend, then when your friend finally does bring it up, then be like, okay, well, she felt how she felt. She said what she said. Do that. But don't try to facilitate a conversation and then get in the middle of something that doesn't fully concern you and then be adding the opinion of a biased opinion of only one side, which forces Lisa to feel attacked. So I know a lot of people are like, Lisa did too much. It was extra. I think Lisa just got them together like she was on College Hill still. She got them
I
together
feel like,
in a way.
yeah, I agree with you because
Like
I feel like Lisa didn't go in hard enough for me. I
if
felt
Lisa
like,
looked like Caroline Stansberry, it would be more accepted.
yes, absolutely. The thing about what y'all have to understand, the reason why I'm speaking up for Lisa is because she pulled Talene aside first. And that was Talene's opportunity to go and say how she felt about the event with Mina Rowe being all over the place and that it felt weird because she knows that's far to be something else. So that was your opportunity to tell Lisa, hey, well, I don't know how Brooks feels, but let me tell you how I feel. I feel like I didn't understand the whole event, even though I was a part of it. I felt like seeing the name plastered everywhere, which doesn't make sense now that I'm speaking it out loud. That sounded better in my mind, but when I say it out loud, that actually sounds more ridiculous because she came to you and asked you to host a part of the event. So you had to know what you was getting yourself in. To me, makes no sense. Point blank,
What
period.
they're
To me, makes
even
no sense.
mad at, Brooks be mad at stupid shit anyway, in my opinion.
Yes.
They're literally upset at the fact that this girl had her business logo at a business event for her business. Why? Hi, Kevin. Why would she not have her logo everywhere? Why are they arguing about it? But regardless, on Talene, it ain't none of your business, boo. Your friends will let you know when they need your backup, and you should know when you need to back them up. But Talene, I really want her to fix her lips. They bother me. They bother me.
So
Right, Jen. She said it was all good when Talene was partnered with Mina Rowe. But now that she's not partnered, it's a problem. People who are that desperate for business or have to attack another person's business or find something wrong with their business event, I agree. I think Jim Bunny had commented it before. I think a lot of us see it. They are jealous of Lisa.
and it's really stupid to when you think about it because all of y'all have some epitome of success here. So for y'all to sit here and try to dog this woman about her event, it was ridiculous. It was like, oh, what are y'all on? And Brooks in her confessional, because there's a point where Lisa's had enough and she walks off and leave, and I think Sarah left as well. So the girls then put Brooks and Talene especially, Hashtag sitting there, and they were like, Celine was like, I feel like you always have Lisa's back, and it could be to everyone's detriment here. I feel like Lisa could stab me. You would just say, oh well. And Brooks was kind of chiming in and saying, yeah, like you're her puppet. You're everything. Um, you could like she controls everything. And Chanel Ayan, this is where the mind fuck begins. This is where the mind fuck begins. And see, leave it to the American women to mind fuck this lady and her be so caught off guard that now she's starting to feel a way about her friend when Ayan, you're right to defend your friend because they were all wrong in this equation here. They were all wrong in this equation. So the fact that they just mind fucked you to question everything that your best friend is doing and her behavior is crazy. You fell for that. It's crazy. Absolutely. This comment right here. This comment right here. That lady is so bitter. Like, oh, I can't. Yeah, they were defending Talene and Talene was wrong. That's what I'm like. I just don't understand. Them two as well. But
Ayana's a narcissist, in my opinion. I've said it a few episodes. Like what we saw when Lisa said, I cannot trust you a few episodes ago, showed that she doesn't care if she's right or wrong. All she cares about is perception. She wants to be perceived well by people. She wants to look good all the time. It's a popularity contest with her. And I feel like some of her upbringing and the trauma she's dealt with kind of adds to that. But Ion, you don't have those popularity contests where it causes you to question loyalty or become disloyal to your friends. So I'm just been irritated with Ion. Shit.
absolutely,
Sexual victim. Classic
absolutely,
narcissist.
absolutely, and that's exactly what this scene gave. So that was pretty much it. She goes. Ayan said in her confessional that she has to question some of Lisa's antics because Lisa only wants her to be, her friend. She doesn't want her to associate with the other girls. So when they're telling her that she feels that Lisa controls her, she's like, well, do they have a point or are they telling the truth? And it was like, you cannot be this naive. You cannot be this ignorant to think that that's really what's going on here, especially coming from Talene and Brooks of all people. Come on.
If
Like,
somebody make it seem like I'm a puppet to my friend, we gonna have to fight in the street. Cause why am I a puppet? That's like, how dare you think that you have the how do you have the audacity to say to somebody or allege that to somebody and feel like it's safe, and then that person hear that and just be okay? Like Ion really probably is extremely insecure, and it shows in different ways just all throughout the episode, because that should
I
show
mean,
you that you should stick closer to your friend to keep defending her as these ladies are talking crap about you to you. Makes no sense.
they are trying to ice Lisa out. I am seeing that. But at the same time, I just wish Ayan had common sense because if you would have looked at the situation from another perspective, you could say the same thing about Brooks when it comes to Talene. Because didn't Talene just jump ship and completely control was the puppet master when it came between Brooks and Lisa? That's the same thing to me. So I'm sorry. Yeah, they lost me on this scene. At that point, I don't care for. I never really liked Brooks. I don't like to lean, and Ayan can now go. This scene right here, I didn't see it for Ayan after this. So the next scene that we see is them, out of the trip. We see Stansberry and Ayan meeting up, and they're talking about summer in Dubai and how they're going to go ahead and plan a goodbye party because everyone I guess leaves for the summer because the summers are dreadful in Dubai. So they're like, yeah, let's throw this party. And Chanel Yana is just gloating at how much she loves Stansberry and how her apology after Bali when they were at the polo event was just so grand. And she really thinks that she's sorry now. And I was just like, okay, I guess. I guess. If this is where you want to be, I guess. Like, it's not, to me, I have no problem with Chanel Ayan and Stansberry being cool or becoming friends or anything. I think they should. But to me, it was a bit out of spite on Chanel Ayan's part because you know that her and your best friend are at odds right now. So the best thing you can do is say, okay, how about you plan this party and I just show up? Because I'm not trying to get in between you and my best friend anymore. I think we learned our lesson. Let's just keep it, or unless she can plan it with us. Like, I think right now, if this were me and Mrs. Best, there's no way I could sit with Stansberry if I know that she's been going at Mrs. Best, and also vice versa. If Mrs. Best ain't feeling Stansberry, it's for a good reason because I trust my friend's logic. And Stansberry is not to be trusted at all times. So,
Nope. It's also like, why would you trust the person who you have less history with, also, like without getting
mhm.
so deep? It's a mess.
It is a mess. So after that, the next thing we see is Sarah. She's at home helping her son with his homework and everything. We have to hear about this whole situation about her son having all this trauma. And and once again, I don't know how many times I have to look at this situation and have the same damn opinion. If you would just let your son know that he is safe in your care, he wouldn't have all this trauma. Like, he wouldn't have all this
You
trauma.
hire a therapist for him or something.
Yes.
Stop talking about
You
it. Do something.
right. Sarah has all this spirituality and all of this, healing and does hypnotherapy and everything. You mean to tell me your son can't go through it? Okay, Sarah. Okay. I'm just because I'm tired of her and her son. I'm not tired of like her son. Her son's adorable. But what I'm saying is I'm tired of seeing this and her trying to ignite this trauma that this boy has and stuff when you have the resources and the tools to help him. It's like, oh, get her out of my face. And what Jim Bunny said, Sarah can leave the show because I don't want to see Sarah no more after this. So after she tells her son to go check on the food, with the chef, which I wouldn't have done that because didn't you just say your nanny was the one that was behind the trauma? I wouldn't. None of my employees would be safe with my child at this point until I see some
I want to
evaluations.
see the police report, the conviction. I want to see all of it.
Right. I want to see it as well because this ain't making no sense. But she calls the king. And when he answered, she was just saying, "Hey, right now, I want to focus on my child, and he's just going through a lot right now, and I'm, not really going to have much time for you, so I just need to put the focus on him." So she wasn't really breaking up with him. She was just saying, "I have to realign my priorities," which that should have been from the start of the relationship that your son was always going to come first. I don't understand how that got lost in translation, but it did somehow. And Akeem felt away and hung up the phone. And see, and Sarah, that right there should have been yo sign for go and get out and leave that boy alone. That right there. Because there's no way you gonna hang up in my face because I'm telling you I need to reignite my priorities and the one being my child. There's no way that hang up would have been sufficient. He could never call me. When as soon as he hung up, he would have been on block. He wouldn't have been able to call me again. But Sarah felt the way. She was like, I can't believe he just hung up on me. And she pretty much said the relationship is over. I said the shit should have been over from the beginning. Y'all what that man ain't that y'all that man wasn't serious about you. That man wasn't serious about you. That man looked like, and I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know this man. But from what I see as a viewer of this show, that man looked like he just wanted to get on TV. Point blank period. Looked like he wanted to get on TV. Because that can afford him a lot. Bravo contracts go far when it comes to endorsements.
I grew up in Islam, I grew up Muslim, and there were a lot of people who would convert, specifically African American men. And it always seemed like some of them would convert more so just for the privileges that come with like dating and relationships and marriage in the religion. And he allegedly is that, and him having the issue with her posing next to someone, it gives that he's trying to use his religion as a way to like manipulate and control her, likely for her money, because she is worth a lot and she does have to worry about that, as well as the benefits that could come with it, like being on this show. I feel like that's what Saba was trying to say without fully saying on camera, but I really don't care. Sarah should not be dating. She needs to take several parenting classes, get off of the camera, and seek a therapist, in my opinion. I'm tired of her.
Absolutely. I'm tired of her as well. So that was it pretty much with Sarah. And as far as that goes, I just, as far as this situation, Sarah, the last word of testament, do better. Just do better. Because everyone's watching. We all watch this show. We all see it. You need to do better. You have money. You have access. You have resources. That is your home country. Do better. Be better representation for that. So yeah, moving on to the next scene. Oh, my notes got messed up here. Where are we at? Okay, so Stan Sperry and her daughter. So Stan Sperry and her daughter go horseback riding, and we have this kind of, reminiscence of the past of Caroline saying that all of her kids do horseback riding, and she was, she did horseback riding as a kid as well. And she brings up the whole situation with spending more time together. She glad that Yasmin and Sergio are in a better place, and then she brings up the baby. And her daughter made so much sense in this little bitty scene that I was just like, okay, I hope this gets through and falls into your mama's ears and not at the feet, not at her feet, because that was so profound. The daughter said, "Why would you want to bring a child into this world when you wouldn't have brought the child into this world had you not been with Sergio in the first place. Like your priorities need to be better, mom. They need to be better because y'all need to have solid foundations. If y'all really want this baby, then y'all would take the steps necessary to take it, but do it for the right reasons, not for no vanity reasons. It's pretty much what her daughter said. And I can respect Yasmin for that
The
because it was
baby
like,
pretty much saying, "Stop doing this bullshit for the show because it affects my life. Do it because you want to."
absolutely. Do it because you want, because you really love this man, you want to have a baby. But as I said, they acting like Sergio is 78 years old and only got a few good years of life left in him. Sergio is 27 years old. 27. So he got plenty of time to have a baby, if not with Stansberry, with the next one after Stansberry. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to play into this whole baby and feel sorry for them because I don't. I don't feel sorry for them at all. But one thing I will say is that surrogacy is now legal in Dubai. So good job, Dubai, with trying to get with the times and everything. Y'all need to change a couple of other laws too. Just saying. So after that scene with Stansberry, we then have a scene with Chanel Ayan calling her sister. I'm gonna try real hard to discuss this scene without getting agitated because it's like Ayan, the fact that you let these two heifers mind fuck you like this and make you think that your best friend really does feel this way about you. And don't get me wrong, Lisa may have some jealous tendencies about her when it comes to friendship. She may be a little territorial. I can see that. But at the same time, this girl has not shown you any type of disloyalty, any type of harm, any type of, fabrication of herself to you. She has been authentic, she has been your friend, and she has been there. So it baffles me that you would have a conversation with your sister and it turned into this whole, that's why I don't do girls because they're always so jealous when that's not even the situation. What are you doing right now? I don't even want to go through the conversation because it was irritating to watch this because that's not what's happening. So I'm just like, oh my god. So Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the conversation? Because I'm not going to go word for word for this
It's annoying. I think you pretty much summed it up. To me, it's giving Chanel Ayan is jealous of Lisa Milan. When season one happened, she was the breakout star. People were moved by what she went through, being circumcised as a female in Africa. People were touched by her. She was funny. The outfits were a thing. But Lisa Milan was also right behind her in that same popularity because people were happy to see her back on TV who remembered her from before. And then separate from that, she is one of the most gorgeous housewives we probably had on any of the franchises. And I feel like Chanel Ayan might have been a little bit jealous quietly, that quietly jealous friend who you'll think is your friend and everything's good until they get some form of success and want to keep it. It's just giving that Chanel Ayan wants to be the star and may have been jealous of Lisa prior because what does she have going on besides just being the wife prior to Housewives of Dubai? Nothing. But Lisa had Mina Rowe and other things and has a degree. So I don't know. Chanel Ayan, I'm sick of her. She's very
So do you
insecure.
think this is a projection that
Yeah.
Chanel Yan is doing? Okay,
Yeah.
I kind of got that too a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what
Because
you're
it
saying.
doesn't make
Yeah,
sense. And she's so focused whenever she can of trying to make herself look like a victim or look like she is the person who's only good, not doing anything wrong. And it all comes back to perception and being insecure and wanting the things that someone else has. But for her to admit that, I feel like would be a problem because we've seen that she struggles to receive feedback. She struggles to be called out. She struggles to be held accountable, which is common in African people. I'm African. I could say it. Cancel me. I don't
yes.
give a fuck.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and move on. I just had to get that thing out the way because I didn't want to go for word because it would agitate me because I feel like we're not seeing reality here. We're seeing confusion created by two women who knew that they could confuse you. So let's move on from there. The next thing is Shania and Caroline Stansberry end up going to the place that they're having the party. And when I tell you, this house is giving me 50 Shades of Grey if Christian Grey was gay. Absolutely, this would be his house. Absolutely, this would be his house, and I want to sign up for it. Christian gay in Dubai, come slide in my DMs because that house was just completely my taste. I am sorry, that house was so grand. I loved the Bugattis in the house. I loved everything about that house. So, oh, that was just, I talk about this house the entire time. I promise you. When I love good real estate. But everyone's getting ready for the party. We're seeing everyone talk about, yeah, Stansberry and Shania throwing this party, and we're all confused by it. And I was like, that's really not that confusing. There's only a matter of time before they tried this. So it was basically just Lisa because Lisa just doesn't understand how one year you and this lady weren't even trying to see it for each other, and now y'all are buddy buddy. Now it's just weird. So everyone's showing up, to the house. The house is beautiful. We even have Blast from the Past from first season, Nina Ali showing up, and I just said, "Oh my God! If she ain't giving Lisa Rinna, I don't know who is." But Chanel and Stansberry are sitting in these throne chairs that are in front of the door, and they're telling everybody to kiss their hand. And I just looked at them too, like, I'm not kissing no damn hand. First of all, I don't know if your hand is clean. I was like Brooks. This is one time I'm gonna agree with Brooks this episode. Hey Naya, oh my goodness, I've missed you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you. I love it. But what did she say? She said, I'm not about to kiss Ian's ashy hand, and I'm not gonna kiss Stansberry's spray tanned, whatever she said, something. I was hollering at that scene because that's how I felt. I'm not gonna kiss
I
nobody.
always notice the back of Chanel's, I call it a weenus, but the area behind the elbow is always ashy. Baby girl, you are being watched in 4K, 8K, HDR, all types of other stuff, 2160 frames per second, all of that. We gonna see baby oil, Lubriderm, Palmer's, all right, Aveeno, something, please.
I can't. I can't with you. So the
Johnson
scene
and
was
Johnson, child.
not the baby product. So the scene moves on. We get a scene with Nina Ali talking to Sarah and Saba, and Sarah's filling Nina in on this whole Keen thing and how she was telling him that she wasn't trying to break up with him. She just wanted to put the focus on her son. And Nina was, just taken aback. She goes, "What's wrong with that? Your son went through a traumatic experience." And Saba just like, exactly, he don't respect her. He don't do nothing. And it was kind of them reassuring Sarah that, she could do better without him. Oh, now I'm hollering in this. I didn't even see that. But, and I'm just like, you knew this shit wasn't gonna work in the first place, so maybe she didn't know. I don't know. I'm just tired of saying, I'm glad this shit is over, where we don't have to talk about Sarah and this relationship anymore because it was stupid to begin with. So Caroline,
And too rich to be discussing this man this way. Go off of our camera screen, Sarah. It's okay. Most of the Atlanta housewives are not from Atlanta. Okay. It's okay. We don't need nobody from Dubai on Dubai. Please get rid of her. And please stop showing us Nina Ali.
Please. Bravo. Please don't bring Nina back next season because I feel like y'all keep showing her, hoping that she'll see herself and want to come back to the show. We don't need to see Nina Ali. I don't want to see Nina Ali on the show. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, moving on from there, Caroline Brooks gets there and she shows up with some young ass man, British man. And everyone was all like, "Where's she coming with this little boy?" And let me tell y'all what this is. Because I know women like Brooks. I do. So what it is, y'all come closer. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something. Come closer. See, what it is the sugar daddy that Brooks got, he ain't all that attractive. And Brooks, had to walk a shame, having to do whatever she had to do for whatever ducats that men threw in her direction. So what you do is you get you some young, halfway decent, attractive man that's probably young enough for you to have him and let him wear you out. That's exactly what's going on here, allegedly. Allegedly. But that's exactly the vibe they gave when they walked right in that door. I was like, Brooks, come on. And she goes, "Oh no, we're just friends. We ain't had nothing sexual going on." I said, "Brooks, come on. You look like you just lifted that skirt up in the car. Come on. I'm not gonna play with Brooks. I'm not gonna play with Brooks, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly, but that's what
I
she did."
don't buy it. I think Brooks is just doing it for the camera. Brooks
Mm,
gives me thirsty a lot of the time, so it's hard for me to believe these things. I want them to see them dig deeper into Brooks's life so that we can actually get to the bottom of some things we don't know enough.
I think two things are true at the same time. I can believe that as well. But I'm sorry, it gives that she was doing the walk of shame and had to make sure she felt, reassured herself that she got it and she can get any man she wants to, and she got
Just
it.
come
She got to
along.
sell it,
Just come
huh?
along, Brooks. Just come along. Just come along. I like or find another friend. I'm
Right.
like I want to see more
No,
in her
Brooks didn't want
life,
to.
but
Brooks
she
didn't want everyone
deflects.
to.
She
Brooks had to
deflects.
walk the shame because she over there dating Uncle Earl and stuff. That's why she over there.
I'm
I'm just
telling you,
playing.
she's hiding stuff and she deflects real well by being extra messy or saying and being mad over outlandish things that make no sense. Somebody dig deeper into Brooke. Stop arguing with her and start digging into her life. That's what they need to do next season. We'd have a
Absolutely.
show.
So be like Brooks, so you need to get a +1, and we need to see the real one. So everyone else arrives, and Tylene and Rafi arrive, and then also Lisa and Rich arrived last, and I guess they got there pretty late. So Shania said, "You got here late. Kiss the queen's hand," and Lisa blows both her and Stansbury a kiss. And she goes, "You're not gonna kiss my hand," and Lisa was like, "No." I'm not gonna do that. And so she walks off, Stansbury, she goes, "You knew she wasn't gonna do that, right?" She goes, "Yeah, oh, I know. I know she wasn't gonna do it." But she
I didn't
told us
like the whole, like, now that the last person's there, I did not like the whole kiss my hand thing in general. Number one, I work in healthcare. It may be mental health care, but when people's mental health goes, so does other parts of their health. I'm trying to tell you. And I don't want nobody just kissing on me like that. Like, how many people must have came in and kissed your hand? And then two, it was strange. I just at a certain age, I hate to sound like a prude, but at a certain age, I just expect people like we can joke, we can have fun, but like grow up. Y'all really sat your asses in that chair for an extensive part of the party, waiting on people to arrive, and people was arriving late because that's what the rich do. And I'm like, okay, all right, but if you know the girl not gonna like it, I kind of felt like they like poked her a little bit with stuff they knew she wouldn't like, and then got at her for it later. That's more so what it is. It just irked me.
I think that was the intention behind it, a bitch they went in. I think that was the intention to be funny, but then I think they carried on to becoming something more playful than funny. So I think that's really what happened. And at least in my opinion, because I thought it was corny. I feel like y'all can just mingle with everybody. Y'all ain't have to sit in the front of, the house and let everybody kiss your hands and just be silly.
They
So,
knew.
but yeah,
I think
they were
they
definitely
were
doing
trying
jokes.
to poke her, but they played it off. It was like fun shade. Is that the term? Y'all know I'm old.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was fun shade. No, absolutely, it was definitely fun shade. But the fun shade that put the nail in the coffin is when they showed that video. So the house gathers around, and it's a video of Stansberry and Shania Yan walking down the stairs and trying to be off. They were off key, off beat, whatever the filming was, saying, "Come join us at this party" and everything. And Brooks was like, "That was the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my life." And everyone's looking around, and once the video's over, they're looking at them too. And when I tell you, Stansberry and Ayan were so proud of themselves for that video, Chanel Ayan's like, "Oh, that one deserves an Oscar," and I'm looking at her like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And Lisa makes the comment, "I want my 2 minutes back for this," and they're all looking at her like what's going on? Her energy did seem a little passive aggressive at this point.
She was more than passive aggressive. She was bothered because even though they were poking her, I think the worst thing you could do with somebody trying you is to let them see that you're affected, especially so early on. I was
Hmm.
like, girl, just clap and shut up. Don't give them a reason to make you look crazy.
Right, exactly, because they wouldn't have got that response out of me. I'd be like, okay, well, I hope y'all proud of yourselves. Good job. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy this home because that's what I would have been doing. I would have been enjoying the surroundings because the moldings, the wine bar, the wine. Yes, y'all know I'd have been all of it through these. They couldn't have invited me to this party because that house I would have never left.
All
I promise y'all.
James needs is a charcuterie board. That's it.
I'm just saying. I know. I was talking about y'all.
Everything that we can
Y'all
just
get the hell out of my house now. Y'all get out of my house. It's my house. I trust me. I'd have took over the house. Whoever. Do y'all feel like it was that man's house that Caroline Stansberry had at her house that one day that brought her that sculpture? Y'all let me know if y'all thought that was that man's house because I really feel like that was his house. Because remind you, he bought her like $1 million sculpture in her house. I feel like that was that man's house. I do. I feel like that was that man's house. So hold on. Lisa was definitely bothered, but I think that her Ayan had some type of pact behind the scenes.
almost definitely.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why I
Absolutely.
don't always agree with bringing like people who have history or close
Hmm.
friendships onto shows. It's better. We talk about this on Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Like it's better sometimes to have a cast of people who do not know each other and see what happens there.
Yeah.
Because when you have people who know each other, you almost guarantee there's some type of a pact. Like if someone was to put me on a reality show right now with James, like we probably wouldn't discuss nothing too big, but we'd be like, you gonna have my back, right? No matter what, and vice versa. Going into that, like there's gonna be something there if there's history.
Oh, absolutely. Every argument, every stance, everything. No one talks about my best friend in my presence. Nobody talks about Mrs. Best, even in private when I can hear you, because I'm gonna cuss you out. And y'all better not look her at her wrong, because I'm gonna say something there. What you looking at? Y'all better get exactly. That's just me. I'm that friend. This one right here, y'all have to understand. Me and Mrs. Best have a almost 2 decade friendship. Absolutely not. This one, I'm not happening. Not in my presence. Sorry.
But
So,
that's the thing. When you have a friend, like I feel the same way. James knows I'm
mhm.
not rap tight, but that's what friends are gonna do. So it's almost a guarantee that they had some type of a pact. I'm actually surprised it took so long because usually friendships and pacts fold within like the first season, but
Mhm. You
they
could
made
tell that they really went into it like, hey, I got your back, you got my back. Just be mindful of the others and everything. And I just feel like Shania Yan kind of fell for the okey doke, and Lisa didn't, because Lisa is the true American. True to this, she know how the game work. She's already been on a reality TV show before this, so she already know how this works. So speaking of which, Shania Yan says, "Hey Lisa, why don't you come talk to me for a second?" And Lisa goes, "For what?" And she goes, "Let's just talk." And Lisa said, "No." And she goes, "Really? You don't want to talk?" And she goes, "No." Now, at this point, I didn't see why Lisa didn't agree to talk with her. I don't know. I don't know what that was about, because that was kind of rude and it was mean. Like, I wouldn't, like, Mrs. Best is going to, I'm sure, is going to come and take a walk and talk with me. And as vice versa, she asked me to talk. I don't care what it's about. We're going to go talk. So I don't know what that was about. I don't care how weird the energy in the room was. That was kind of weird that Lisa did that. That's probably the one time I'm going to call Lisa out on this review. I felt like that was really weird that you did that. I think Ayan is such a pick me that she couldn't just think that Ayan couldn't say, yeah, absolutely. No,
yeah,
that's okay. I
I
got it. I got what you
agree.
were saying. I
I
got I got
agree.
what you were saying. But yeah,
It
no,
makes
absolutely.
perfect sense. She's a pick me. She
Mm-hmm.
wants to be popular. It's all a
Yeah,
popularity contest
yeah.
with Ayan, and it's very, very clear. And we see later in this scene, Lisa says, I don't give a damn about this show. She said the show aside. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
So at
because
least
I
visibly,
didn't
she really
see
don't need the show. She just wants to be
she
popular on
don't.
TV again.
That's where
She
the
don't need the show.
jealousy
Yeah.
is probably
Mm-hmm.
coming from for on Ayan's end because Lisa did not need the show. She's that person on the show that has the success, that has the marriage, that has the kids, that has the career, that has the looks, with minimal scandal. So I'm telling y'all, Ayan just wants to be popular. It's concerning
Hmm.
because the fact that you
It
had
is.
issues with Stansberry in recent times and you have less history with her than you do with your actual friend on and off camera, it's not cool. I don't know what the hell kind of pact you had, but a pact with your friend is a pact with your friend, and you should honor that. And it looked like Ayan is moving. I don't like the way she's moving. She's wishy
I didn't
washy.
either. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish out this scene here. So Ayan walks away, and Rich was like, "Why? Like, what's going on? Like, why you didn't want to talk with her?" And she goes, "I just wasn't in the mood. I don't want to talk with her right now." And Ayan walks, grabs her husband, and walks outside. And she was telling the other girls that she like Lisa didn't want to talk to her. I tried to pull her to the side, and the girls weren't really comprehending what was going on there. So when Lisa walks up to them, she goes, "Hey, Ayan was saying that you didn't want to talk to her," and she looked upset. And Lisa was like, "Upset, really?" And she goes, "Yeah." So Lisa was like, "Let me go check on her because no, it's not that serious. Let me go check on her." And so when Lisa walks up to Ayan and she goes, "Well, what's wrong?" Like, and she goes, "No." Ayan's like, "No, I'm mad because you didn't want to talk with me. Like, I just wanted to come and talk to you." And Lisa's like, "Well, I told you I didn't want to talk right now." And she goes, "What did you want to talk about?" She goes, "I want to talk to you about what the girls said about how you pull the puppet strings." And immediately Lisa's face bugged and she goes, "We're not going to talk about that." And when as soon as Lisa did that, it's because Lisa knew exactly what those girls were doing. A lot of people felt like Lisa was trying to avoid some truth. And I said, no, that's not the look of avoiding the truth. That's the look of, I can't believe you fell for that bullshit. And you're trying to now throw this in my face as if that's what's happening. And for Bravo to play clips about how Lisa was trying to do some kind of control, Bravo, that's not control. That was not control. That
Bravo
was
is going to
protection.
play clips that are going to side with who they view as the largest star or breakout star on a show, which was Ayan. So I'm not surprised they played those clips back. I do think that Lisa was more aggressive and in the open with discussing things that they probably had to, talked about prior and off
Hmm.
camera and all of that. But Ayan also has moved funny. They could have played scenes for her as well. It
Yeah,
shows that production is very, very biased, and that's always a concern.
that is a concern because to me, I feel like y'all are getting the implication of what Ayana is saying wrong because that's not control. Now, granted, we don't know what happens off camera or behind the scenes, so she could be very much in her right. But from what the edit was and what we did see, that's not control to me. I'm sorry, there is no control of that. So when Lisa was like, "Listen, like, no," as Ayan saying, "Look, even with the thing with me and Stansberry and throwing this party and everything, and that's it." Lisa, it's because you just told me that Stansberry told you that what was the word? That she was bragging about buying her mom's house. And they all said, "I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that." Immediately debunked it. And she goes, "Yes, you did. You told me that Caroline Stansberry said that I was trying to buy her parents' house and that I was bragging about it." I 100% believed it. Let me tell you why I believe that. Because Chanel Ayan said, no, what made me believe it is when Lisa said she called Stansberry to ask her. If Chanel Ayan did not say that, why would she call Stansberry and ask her if she said that? I 100%
Exactly.
believe.
Why would she call somebody that you have alleged that she doesn't like so much that she's bothered by you being their friend? Why would she call that person out of the blue to engage in some random drama? That is out of
Exactly.
character and shows she had to have a reason to call. She does not like this woman. And anytime we've seen Lisa call or contact Caroline, it's usually to invite somebody to a group or cast event or to reach out to talk because they're doing so to try and make Ayan feel better. So,
Hmm.
yeah, Ayan
Yeah.
is manipulative and she uses her emotions to do so. Like that big ass baby cry, girl, shut the hell up. My husband was like, she's crying loudly in an accent. I said, oh Lord, Josiah. But her cry, I was like, you doing all them tears and turning away from the camera. What are you upset about? Because at the end of the day, her and Lisa's issues did not get super bad until Ayan shared the voice note.
Exactly.
And so it's like at the end of the day, you're so concerned. Yes, she let those girls play her because she wants to be liked by them so bad that she's willing to throw away and turn her back on a long-standing friendship. Ayan has no integrity, in my opinion.
No, she doesn't. And the way they tried to edit this scene to make it seem like Lisa was tripping and that she was being the aggressor and that she was realistically trying to, you know, do what the other girls were implicating. It's like, y'all, Bravo, y'all wrong for this. If I was Lisa, I would even come back next season because y'all were wrong for this. Y'all know clear as day that, and I know Lisa did too, that Ayan got mind fucked by Brooks and Talene. It worked because she began questioning everything. And then she held Lisa hostage to that feeling. And that's not fair. That's not fair for someone to put something in your head. Then you come back to me with that bullshit, knowing that I'm not that kind of friend. And then getting mad because I'm calling you out on your shit. And then you mad because I called you a liar because you did lie. I mean, it's alleged. We didn't hear the phone conversation, but I tend to believe Lisa because Stansberry said, yeah, Lisa did call me. And I said, no, I didn't say the word bragging. I don't know where I got that from because I didn't even say it. So I was like, okay, so Stansberry is doubling down and saying that Lisa did call her. So that makes me believe that Shania said that because Lisa wouldn't have any other reason to call her. So, you know, yeah, and that's Mrs. Best that I run through a house. She goes, I can't believe you would call me a liar in front of my son and my husband. And she was just running up the stairs, and I'm just like, oh my God. And
Who
mind you,
cares? If you tell a lie in front of your son and your husband, you told a lie.
exactly.
That woman
And mind
swore
you,
on her
her son and her
kids.
husband didn't even go upstairs to check on her. So that's how
No,
you
because
know.
she probably does that. Ayan does what in my profession we call emotional manipulation, and it's very, very common, and a lot of people do it unintentionally. But she looks like somebody who's got it down to a T. She looked, no shade to her husband, it looked like she married a simp. I feel like she could drop a tear or a fake holler about anything, and I feel like he really do love the hell out of her and would just give in to what she wants. Her son trying to get the hell away from her and move to America. I'm trying to tell y'all, I got not everything that glitters is gonna be like gold in real life. I'm telling you, something is off with her. Lisa swore on her children. She said, may God strike them down. Okay. People don't say stuff like that on their kids, just to say stuff like that, unless you Teresa Judice. But people don't say stuff like that on their kids just to say it. She's never made a statement like that at all on this show in multiple seasons. So as soon as she said that, and there's nothing Ayan could really say, then she's suddenly crying and walking away. Because when she can't get her way, she's crying her way out of it. That's emotional manipulation. I see you, Ayan.
We all see it.
You
I
got as
saw it
much
the most.
loyalty as you do hair, bitch. And you got to figure that out. She got to figure it out.
Absolutely. And I just can't believe, Bravo, y'all. Y'all really tried to paint Lisa to be some old crazy begging ass aggressive ass lady. Lo and behold, that there was so many lines drawn in the sand that you can clearly see. It was like, come on, y'all got to do better than this now. Y'all was really trying to paint this lady to be some kind of monster and some kind of just jealous, crazy, single white female kind of, antic. Like, y'all have to do better than this. Because to me, Ayan was absolutely the person in the wrong here.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time that she has said this on camera. The other time where she had said that she had told Lisa that she shared the voice note with Stansberry and Talene, I don't believe she did that either. I believe that that table was the first time that Lisa had ever heard of it.
Yeah, because she looked genuinely surprised. It was the first time she was like impacted on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing that bothers me. Everything Ayan does is intentional. That's why I say the bitch is manipulating people. Because voice notes, usually, if you got iPhone, at the very least, mine usually disappear. I have to hit keep in order to keep them. And you got to actually save it to your files and all types of stuff. So she knowingly went and did something that she just should not have done, which was weird. Why did you save it as soon as you heard that? Like from the very beginning, and how she got the voice note, you could just tell she immediately went to a dark place with her thoughts. But I think that the reunion will show cracks in the foundation of what Ayan is saying. And at the end of the
Mhm.
day, Ayana is stupid. These ladies said you're like a puppet. If they think you're a puppet to somebody else, that means that they think that you have the ability to potentially be a puppet to them. That means they don't
Yes.
respect your mind for being autonomous. That means they don't respect you, stupid. So you let go of your friend to be with a bunch of heifers who's fake and only friendly with you for the camera or for popularity, vain, or gain over an actual friend. And I think Ayan will regret it later down the line. But
Absolutely.
she doesn't give me the type who's gonna also admit that she's wrong ever. I feel like she'll double down and cry as much
No,
as she
yeah,
can.
she absolutely. I 100% agree with that because that's all she's done this entire time. Anytime someone's held her to task, she runs away and cries and does this dramatic, yawn that she does that just is annoying. So, absolutely, that's what she does. That's her antics. I think that she's done this throughout her entire life when it came to finally getting somewhere of stature. And to me, as everyone said here, as we all agree, she just wants to be popular. She just wants to be chosen. She's a pick me, and pick me's act like this. So,
Even her makeup line, she's essentially just the face and the ambassador. I ain't seen
yeah,
her do makeup once.
you know, I wish her all the success. I'm not going to, say, but I'm just saying this one good. Like to me, I had a feeling this is how this was going to go. I said this episode one. I already know how this is about to go. You're trying to appease this lady who could really give two shits and a fuck about you, and you gonna sell your friend up the river for her. And that's exactly what happened. But you had help. I'm not gonna say you did. I'm not gonna say Stansberry did this alone. She had help because Talene and Brooks with their messy asses also planted that seed in her head and it grew real quickly. It didn't need much water to sprout the growth. That is crazy to me. So that was pretty much the season finale, y'all. That was the most insane finale I have seen since probably Salt Lake City this year. It was just crazy. So
I felt opposite. I felt like it was mid. Um, I appreciated the drama because it kind of gave me like the nostalgic feel of Housewives, what it should be, without all the extra stuff. But I felt like they took too long to get to the point. I want to see Dubai since they have money and they can only do so much in Dubai. I want to see them like traveling and doing more. And I think it's also time for a cast shakeup. They should do it sooner than later because Talene and Brooks ain't cool. Stansberry is not cool with a few people. Lisa and Chanel are apparently not cool. So I'm just shake up the cast once the relationships get too broken. I
they
think
need
Bravo should learn from their previous mistakes.
they need to get rid of Talene. They need one more. I feel like I would want them to have one more Emirati woman that's kind of like Sarah, but not like Sarah. If you get what I mean. Like not the one that's conservative. Like I just need the one that's kind of like the wild wife who kind of broke away from her, religion and everything and married somebody just, completely different. I need to see. I know that lady exists out there, and until they legalize gay marriages, I won't be out there until then. But once they do, my ass will be out there, and I will definitely come on the show. Me and the prince and everything, whoever out there, or let's me, Michael B. Jordan, move out there. One to two. I need that house. I was gonna say, y'all like how I circle back to that house. Cause I'm telling y'all, that house is my taste from the front door all the way to the back and upstairs too. But that's it, y'all. That was Real Housewives of Dubai. Next episode is the reunion, and y'all know how we break it down here. From what I'm seeing of the reunion, my fashion choices from last week that y'all remember, my best dress was Lisa, and my worst dress was Sarah. It seems like they're gonna hold that stature for me, so we'll see how that goes. But is there anything else you want to add, Mrs. Best, before we end the live?
No, not at all. I had fun.
Yes, this went a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Thank you so much. I'll try to get through as much of it as possible and eliminate the foolishness. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who showed up for this. I appreciate y'all comments. I appreciate y'all engaging with us. The next recap on my channel will be on Saturday, the Braxtons and Family Empire Houston, which I'm sure, because last week was amazing, I'm sure this week will give us something to talk about as well. So I will see you guys on my next recap. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. See you guys later.